it's Michelle, and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. Happy Tuesday. If you're in America, we're all getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving on Thursday. So there will not be a video on Thursday or Friday, but I will definitely try to have another video for you on the weekend. Now, I just launched my cyber sale for Black Friday. It's available now. So if you're interested in getting some RDT merch, you can now get it for 15% off. Go ahead and check out the links in the description down below. Now, I also have a brand new design, the Royal Daily Tea badge. A lot of people like that design for my logo, so it is now available for you to purchase on a mug. But you guys, we have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So the UK Royals kicked off a very special state visit from the President and First Lady of South Korea. Now, the Prince and Princess of Wales kicked off a day of royal pageantry by welcoming the President and his wife to London as they started a 2-day tour of the UK. So Catherine was the lady in red, and she absolutely stole the show. She wore a brand new hat by Jane Taylor and a bespoke red wool cape by Catherine Walker. Now, she wore this over a dress that she had worn 2 years earlier for a Christmas Carol concert. Now, many people thought that the cape had a bow on top of it, but in fact, the bow was from the coat dress that was worn underneath the cape. But she was a vision, a lady in red. Now, red seems to be the royal color of the season. We have seen quite a few other royal ladies wearing red. Most recently, Princess Charlene of Monaco looked absolutely elegant and stunning. Kind of reminded me of a fashion from like the 1950s, but she looked regal and beautiful in red. She wore that outfit for Monaco's National Day, and in the evening, she wowed in a glittery long evening dress. Again, red definitely seems to be the royal color of this season, and I'm here for it, y'all. There is nothing about a bright colored gown to literally stand out in the crowd, and I thought Catherine looked elegant and chic in that ensemble. So all of us royal watchers who love a royal tiara were treated to a very special surprise when Catherine donned a diamond tiara that hasn't been worn in almost 100 years. It hasn't been worn since the 1930s when the Queen Mother wore this tiara. Now, I'm one who loves a floral tiara. They are some of my favorite tiara designs, and you don't see too many people wearing them. So when Catherine came out with that stunning tiara, my mouth dropped. Now, the tiara that Catherine wore was the Strathmore Rose Tiara. Now, this was actually something that belonged to the Queen Mother, and Catherine is only the second royal woman to ever wear this tiara. Now, the floral headpiece had not been seen since the 1930s and was a part of the Queen Mother's collection. Now, according to the court jeweler, the accessory's name comes from the Queen Mother's father, who was the Earl of Strathmore and Kinghorn, and was a wedding present when she married Prince Albert, who became the future King George VI. So although the Queen Mother received this as a wedding gift from her father, she actually did not wear the tiara for her wedding, but she did change her headpiece to this tiara for the formal wedding day portraits. I like how she wore it as a headband, and I would love to see Catherine try to play around with this tiara a little bit. Maybe she'll wear it as a headband, but it's such a 1930s era style, and I absolutely love it. Now, talk about another royal lady in red. Queen Camilla did not disappoint. Again, the royal ladies are opening up the vault and finally trying on some different royal tiaras and jewelry. and I'm here for it. I love the fact that Camilla has been seen in quite a few different tiaras, and why not? She is the queen. She deserves it. And you guys, she pulled out one of the prettiest tiaras, the Burmese Ruby Tiara. Now, Queen Camilla paired that with a beautiful red gown that was designed by one of her favorite designers, Fiona Clare. Now, the headpiece was part of Queen Elizabeth's collection and worn by the late monarch on multiple occasions. But I thought she looked absolutely exquisite. And again, I love to see the ladies trying out color, different fashion, and of course, the royal tiaras. Now, according to the court jeweler, the tiara was made by the jeweler Gerard back in 1973, constructed from diamonds and rubies that Queen Elizabeth received as wedding presents. I swear these royal women received the best jewelry at their wedding. The rubies came from the people of Burma, while the diamonds came from the deconstructed Nizam of Hyderabad tiara. Queen Camilla also accessorized the late Queen Elizabeth's ruby and diamond necklace and earrings from her private collection. I really do believe that Queen Camilla is stepping up her fashion, and I'm here for it, ladies. What do you think of this beautiful red Burmese ruby tiara? Now, Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, looked absolutely stunning, and I do believe we don't talk about Sophie enough on this channel, so I hope I can talk about her a little bit more. But what I really loved about Sophie is that she re-wore her coronation gown, and it is absolutely exquisite. We really weren't able to see much of the ladies' coronation gowns during the coronation, so it was lovely to see the beautiful lace detail around the shoulders and the collarbone. Now, she paired it with her aquamarine tiara that she has worn on a few occasions, and I think she looked absolutely stunning. Now, a very interesting thing about Sophie's tiara is that you can style it also as a necklace, which I found very interesting. She styled it as a necklace for a London gala back in 2006, but I like the way that she's able to change up her look. You can wear it as a necklace, but I honestly prefer it as a tiara. So what do you think of Sophie and her beautiful aquamarine tiara, pairing it with her coronation gown? So apparently the Sussex curse is alive and well, and that every time Harry or Meghan attach themselves to a project, that project is buying themselves a one-way ticket on the Titanic, meaning they're pretty much going to go belly up and broke within about 2 years of associating with Harry and Meghan. Better Up, are you looking? Are you looking at your future? Because I think Better Up is going to go belly up, if you ask me. So the most recent victim is now the Invictus Games is having some major issues. Major shakeups are going on over there at Invictus Games. Most recently, 2 top chief executives were, quote, sacked, or what I like to call a freed up future. And insiders warn staff morale is at an all-time low. Does that sound familiar? Better Up? Just saying. And now there's a claim that the event is over budget despite getting a $30 million government grant. What? How the hell do you go over budget with $30 million? Have you seen the productions at the Invictus Games? They're bare bones. They're like having events in gymnasiums. How do you spend $30 million? That's a whole lot of moolah. I mean, Harry and Meghan, maybe you should quit the first class travel and the $5 million a year bodyguards and staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, my goodness, where the hell is the money going? Now, the Invictus Games will next be held in Vancouver and Whistler in February of 2025 and will feature winter sports for the very first time. But Mail Online learned exclusively that CEO Peter Lawless, who is a lawyer and arguably Canada's most respected Olympic and Paralympic administrator, has left his job abruptly. That sounded like the perfect person to run the Invictus Games, especially since it's going to Canada, but he left abruptly. That's not a good sign. When you start losing key people at the top, crap starts trickling down to the bottom. Now, according to an insider, they have claimed that Mr. Lawless, who was awarded the Diamond Jubilee by Harry's grandmother back in 2012, was fired, and morale among staff is now at an all-time low. Now, an Invictus Games spokesperson declined to comment on whether he was sacked, instead said he had been transitioned out and was no longer an employee but will remain an ambassador. Have you ever remained an ambassador for any company you've been sacked from? I don't think so. I smell he was questioning decisions. Maybe he was upset that they were losing money and that they were over budget and that he was tired of paying for Harry and Meghan. Just a thought. Now, also leaving the Vancouver Whistler team is a man by the name of Bill Cooper, who was in the role of Chief Commercial Officer for 10 months until he left in October. He has thanked colleagues for their support after several praised his grace and accused Invictus 2025 of making a big mistake of getting rid of him. It sounds like if they're over budget, maybe they can't afford to pay these men, or perhaps these men were speaking out, saying what the rest of us have been thinking, and they got the boot. Now, One Games volunteer said the staff are concerned that these recent moves will again overshadow this incredible event for their veterans. They were also concerned that the Sussexes' security and other costs may put a strain on the game's finances if Invictus 2025 has to pick up the bill. Again, this is a charity, Harry and Meghan. You shouldn't be dipping your little hands in the coffers. You should be able to pay for your own security, your own travel, your own hotels. Meghan, you don't need to have your wardrobe picked up by the Invictus Games. You can wear an Invictus t-shirt. This is absolutely ridiculous, but once again, it's all about Harry and Meghan. So I hope other organizations look at Better Up and look at Invictus Games and ask yourself, do you want these two to represent your company and brand? Because they are toxic. They don't put butts in seats, and Harry and Meghan do not equal a profit at the end of the day. It means you're going to be in the red and you're going to go belly up if you associate with Harry and Meghan. So what do you guys think about this story? Do you think the Invictus Games is going to give Harry and Meghan the boot, or do you think they're actually going to be around again in 2025? It's becoming really laughable and almost predictable where we can start setting our watches to Harry and Meghan showing up doing some fake mock royal duties anytime the real royals are doing something, or when a negative story hits the airwaves. So in my last story, we talked about the Invictus Games is pretty much in a state of chaos with two of their executives being sacked or fired, if you want to call it, from the organization ahead of the 2025 Winter Invictus Games. Now, we know there's some very interesting accounting that is going on in the Invictus Games. Again, Meghan Markle, keep your hands out the cookie jar. Quit spending money that goes to a freaking charity. The problem I have with Harry and Meghan is they blur the line between charity and entrepreneurship, where we never quite know where exactly it begins and ends. With the royal family, you can criticize them all you want, but they don't take one penny, not one penny, from a charity. When they show up for a royal event, it is 100% for the charity. They don't get anything out of it. They live a life of service in exchange for being a royal family member. But again, Harry and Meghan, everything they do is for a dollar bill to be put in their pocket. That is why I don't like them. That is why they're not genuine, because they mix philanthropy with money. You don't do that. You're either a charitable person who does things for charity, or you have a business, but you don't mix them together. Harry and Meghan have the Invictus Games, not to care about the wounded veterans, but it's a money-making scheme. They got paid money to do the documentary for Netflix. So they got this $20 to $100 million deal of Netflix, and then they added in the Invictus Games. And we're like, wait a minute. I thought that was a charity, so why are we paying Harry and Meghan to talk about the Invictus Games? And then Meghan shows up with a $30,000 to $50,000 wardrobe to go to the Invictus Games, but who's paying for it? So the fact that they received $30 million in government grants and that they're almost broke. So what do Harry and Meghan do? Well, they get on a private jet and they jet over to Canada with their bestie, Marcus Anderson, who quite frankly gives me the ick factor. I don't mean to be rude, but there's just something a little sleazy about him. I can't put my finger on it, but he just gives me the ick feeling. Don't quite like this guy. Again, that's just my feeling that I get about the man. And I do find it kind of interesting. How did he make the cut? You know, Meghan Markle likes to markle her friends. I mean, she cut off a childhood friend that she had for 25 years when she simply questioned Meghan Markle's morals when she dumped her first husband, or should I say her then husband, because you know Harry's her now husband, her then husband, Trevor, by mailing back his wedding rings in the mail. She cut off her childhood friend for that. She cut off Jessica Mulroney, you know, the woman that she was FaceTiming when H was proposing to her at Not Caught. Remember that? Her little bestie? She kicked her to the curb, but somehow Marcus Anderson, her little Soho buddy, who arranged all those little dates with little Prince Harry in secret at Soho House, somehow this man has made the cut. Maybe two birds of a feather stick together. Maybe they have a lot in common. I don't know. But again, I don't know why she surrounds herself with this man. But, you know, maybe he's a wonderful guy. But again, he just gives me a ick factor. So they fly into this game for a, quote, surprise shock visit. Well, there's nothing surprising or shocking at all. We all know that Harry and Meghan love to steal the limelight from the royals, and of course they're trying to camouflage and deflect away from all the negative press that the Invictus Games is receiving. So they show up at the opening of this hockey game where the Vancouver Canucks are there playing against the San Jose Sharks, and they're up there in the VIP box just putting on a show and dancing. Look at us. Our life is a mess. Our business are failing. Look at us. Aren't we cool? No. So to me, there was some really weird moments of body language where they didn't look like they were really happy. It's like their mask is constantly slipping when the cameras are away from them. But of course, Meghan Markle, the girl has a talent. She always got to spot the camera. She's always looking at herself over on the Jumbotron, literally not watching the game, watching herself on the camera. Meghan Markle, man, there's not a camera she doesn't love. Let me tell you, the woman loves the camera. Again, I'm ready for my close-up. You know, the whole Norma Desmond moment, right? Her love tank, y'all, must be overflowing. She's just getting so much attention. Oh my God, they love me. So there was a really hilarious, awkward moment when the kiss cam came on and Prince Harry didn't even attempt to try to kiss Meghan Markle. Remember that fiasco of embarrassment when he tried it last time at the basketball game and she's like, stop it, Harry, you're embarrassing me. Stop, I'm so shy, I'm so virginal. Really? And here she is again, kind of blushing. Oh my God, we're so surprised you want to see us kissing. It's like you two are constantly on top of each other like white on rice. Here comes a kiss cam and y'all can't kiss now? Like that's beneath you or something? Like you don't want to show the world the peanut butter and the jelly, the salt and the pepper, the greatest love story of all time? You can't give people the kiss on the kiss cam? I do find it interesting that Harry was like, nope, not today, sis. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. He wasn't going to fall for the same trick that Meghan pulled last time. There were a couple of moments where it looked like they weren't even talking, they weren't interacting with one another. Again, the mask was definitely slipping. To me, this is another one of their fake moments where they're pretending to really like each other and we're really happy. But again, they were over animated, over hyped, trying to squash all the negative divorce rumors, all the negative relationship stories, and of course about the Invictus Games. So it's getting to be kind of embarrassing, really, how vapid their life really is. Yeah, the actual working royals. Remember when King Charles opened up Parliament, and then you had Harry at a Katy Perry concert. Yeah, and now we have the real royals hosting the First Lady and President of South Korea, and you have Harry and Meghan dancing at a hockey game. It's like, okay, apparently the real royals weren't available to throw out the first puck of this game, and I guess Prince Andrew was busy, so they got Harry and Meghan. It's kind of like the rent-a-royals are available. It's kind of like that should be their new business. Rent-a-royal. You got the money, Harry and Meghan got the time, y'all. It is just so weird to me how far they have fallen in the world of obscurity, right? So he's trying to emulate what his grandmother did back in 2002. Around the time of her golden jubilee, he throws out the first puck. I'm just like my gran. I'm Harry. But it's like, you're a fake royal. You're not even a real active royal. This is embarrassing. You know what I mean? It's like, when I see those articles, Harry and Meghan have moved on. They have dropped the royal family. Harry and Meghan, they don't want to talk about the royals anymore. They're ready to start over. Are you kidding me? They haven't stopped. They keep referring to themselves as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Here he is acting like he's a royal with the little carpet rolled out in the pictures. It's like, you're not even a working royal, son. This is embarrassing. And then you have Meghan Markle acting like the queen of the ball at the hockey game, wearing like $50,000 worth of jewelry to a hockey game. They keep pretending that they're royals with these fake royal duties. So on cue, here comes Saint Meghan to the rescue with another shock and surprise fake royal visit, which is neither shocking, surprising, or royal. It says Meghan Markle breaks her silence. I'm sorry, this is a woman who hasn't shut her pie hole for 3 years. She's never been silent on her personal struggles in latest public visit. Of course, Meghan Markle talking about her favorite subject, herself, and her victimhood. Literally, she needs to have a t-shirt that says, I'm a professional victim, because that is all she is. It says Meghan Markle looked glowing as she visited a women's charity in Vancouver, Canada. Again, she's always trying to get herself in with women's rights, feminist, women power. But yet this woman, all she's managed to do in life is marry well. It's like, talk about getting a new story, Megs. Come on. If you could do a seminar on how to bag a prince, how to marry a rich man, how to be a victim, I think that would be a success. But this whole women empowerment thing, I'm so about women empowerment. It's like, no, you're not. You are not a girl's girl, Meghan. You are a narcissist. Everything is about yourself, meaning talking about yourself to women. It's like, can you just let them talk? Do you always have to put in your 5 cents? Again, Meghan Markle can't do anything unless she's the center of attention. So they said Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, visited the Justice for Girls charity in Vancouver on Tuesday. Now, the Canadian nonprofit helps teenage girls living in poverty and campaigns for equality and freedom from violence and colonialism. The charity shared on their official Instagram page, Justice for Girls was delighted to have a return visit from Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, a feminist advocate from a young age herself. The dishwashing commercial again. The Duchess was keen to chat with 2 of our teen interns to discuss their personal struggles for justice. Meghan Markle, you've never had a struggle for justice in your entire privileged life. Her genuine and understanding approach left the girls feeling heard, supported, and inspired. That's not hard to do, guys, when you're walking around with the camera crew. It's easy to be fun and likable there. The Duchess joined Jessica Lake and Lori Thompson from the Lake family's All for One Fund and a group of women involved with the charity's work for a round table discussion. Oh, I bet that was enlightening to hear her word salad speech and her big nothing burger talking about herself. Now, Meghan has supported the charity for a number of years, having last visited in 2020. You mean when she was an actual royal, right? Now she's just coming back as Meghan, even though you're calling her the Duchess of Sussex and she's not a working royal. Again, fake royal tour. So I just find it interesting how she's always trying to make it look like she's such a saint. She's such a caring, nice person. Look at Meghan, always just doing charitable works. But again, it's fake royalty. When are they going to get the memo that they're not working royals? Well, guys, that is all the royal news that I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And remember, if you're looking to get yourself some RDT merch, right now I am having a Cyber Week sale where you can get 15% off all of my merch. So make sure you check it out down below. Also, my very good friend Sue Smith has a brand new book that she has released on Amazon called Never Pet a Porcupine. This is a book that was written by her late father. It is absolutely adorable. I do plan to get one for myself, but if you're interested, guys, I will leave you the link for it down below. But as always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.